Hello, hello. All this is set up. No. Why is that not working? Windows frozen. It. Um. Yeah. Display. Oh, that looks bad. Yeah, let me switch this over so you guys can actually see what's going on. Come on. Okay. That's weird. Okay. So I am going to jump into the lobby for some quick RP. Not too long tonight. Um, I have some stuff to do in the morning. Uh, Turn on voice changer. See, I'm actually using a new screen capture thing. Come on. That's not working. What I get for not testing this out with the streaming software. Okay. Yeah, voice changer. Okay, so that's working. Go back to main screen. Get rid of this. Turn off my layout view for that. And I need a request off of, I think, Arab Ninja is doing the lobby tonight. Do a quick check of that. Under two, Arab Ninja. special. Let's hope I can get in. Only about an hour late, so the lobby may not be full. We'll see. So I did some changes to the avatar, mostly just tone down the colors. Too much white before. Voice changer working. Yep. And load in. Oh, there must be quite a few people in the lobby tonight. My frames are dying. See if there's something I can do about that. Because it is terrible. Control Alt Delete. Let's see if there's anything going on in the background that I can shut off. Pockets. Unity. On. Okay.
Hey, pardon.
Hope that works.
Just because those questions would ask.
Microphone, voice mod, yes. Audio's working fine.
Man, that was just rude. I didn't even involved in that. That was just rude.
Okay, so everybody in here's good. I don't know what the fuck that massive flux event was. That focused everybody.
Oh, it's raining here.
Listen, I know. No, it's not rotting flesh. It's just taco meat. Don't worry.
I know, but it smells like.
Oh, first time here?
Just don't think about it.
Second
Just put
time.
the wristband on me and we'll be over with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything on you?
You know what?
No,
I wish we could have
I didn't bring anything.
Nope.
Can I at least spray you?
Alright, do this.
Excuse me, that's very rude. I put on
Say it.
several layers of cologne before I
Yup.
went here.
What?
You like taco cologne?
Thank you.
I mean, do you have cologne here that is anti-taco meat?
There's anyone I recognize.
Oh, don't worry. Technically, I'm not the best person to ask about this, considering I have a very lower standard for actually clinical grade stuff, and I will use pretty much anything. There is a B1 battle droid with it's a synthetic bio. He has a little cross on his head, white, red circle, and sleeve. His name is Cac. He is an actual medicine and is trained and programmed for that very thing. Surgeries and the like. He is the better one to talk to about that kind of stuff.
Sounds like proper training.
Shut up.
I mean, it was literally running up a hill.
You watched the movie? You seen the movie?
No, when I
Surprised that you're here to Lotus.
Too bad episode 1 that one came out. I don't know, I'm used to it because
Okay, stream's good. Game audio. Really hoping I will be able to show you guys more of my VR setup, but it's just going to be the game. Okay, so the dwarf that I met last time is here. Right down there. Dwarf was generating a ton last night, or last time I was here. I don't know if it was part of his track or mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Laura lays out the milkman after all.
It's part of my job.
good night too.
I'll be wandering around myself.
Here,
Okay?
this is like fucking.
He's free. He's quite a busy
This
man.
universe specifically.
Of course. I know
This, yeah, this universe is pretty, this world's pretty advanced. So we don't really know for sure. But it
Go on about and meet the different people. After all, there's plenty of decent folks here. Keeping it of course.
Yeah.
Well, if I see you later in the evening, I hope we can talk more.
Greetings.
Evening.
An automaton.
An
Not your
automaton?
name, what was
Oh,
it?
yes, that's
M4.
M4.
Yes.
M4.
M4. M4.
Hmm.
Always a pleasure.
Does it stand for something, or is it a number designation?
It was simply an expectation that I was giving my creator.
I see. Well, rather simple titles, I suppose. Maybe mass-produced or such things?
As far as I know, I am the only creation.
Very well then. I don't mean to impose or, criticize the name. It's just curious. With an M and a 4 on it, you would think it's supposed something like
some type of...
Creation 4 or some things.
exactly.
I have not been informed, but I'm told it stands for something.
Oh, perhaps 4 M's of some sort, an acronym that's shortened down to Major Magical Module something of some sort. Who
No, that's
who
a good
knows?
idea. I wouldn't think about that. Right, it could be something like that.
4M seems quite excessive.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful of a name, isn't it?
Right. M. I'm not using 4. Good idea. Good theory.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing quite alright.
I just
I'm
saw
doing just fine.
I shouldn't speak for you, but
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's a fantastic time as always being in here. New friends, new things to look at, and new,
Indeed.
fantastical things to observe.
aye.
Wait, where you
Aye. I need to be looking for someone. I'm supposed to be using
Off the
business. I do
cruise and
apologize.
find your partner.
Cutting this conversation a bit too
Fine,
short.
yes.
If I can see you again later
Let's see you
tonight,
again.
I'll happily speak with you.
Yes.
Indeed, I'm for.
Hopefully see you later tonight.
Of course.
Quite an elegant frame. Most men of iron I see are quite box-like in design and such things, so it is quite different to see a frame so... I shouldn't say so.
Shapely?
Yes, shapely, that's the word I'm looking for. Like a marble statue rather than a box of gears, I suppose.
Oh yes. Well, I was told that my creator put much time into my appearance.
Well, that would make sense. If one is creating a work of art, one must always put their time and passion into such a project, I suppose.
He is
Although
quite
the
passionate.
eyes are quite different.
Yes. Yeah, the flashing. Do not be worried. It only means that there is work to be done.
Oh, I see. I thought it was some sort of rune or something. Apologies, I am not much well versed in the likes of men of iron and such things. So you'll have to excuse my intolerance and mannerisms and such things.
There are many people from throughout. What do you call this? A meta?
A man of iron, a man made of iron, made of metal, other such things.
Oh, I've heard that said as synthetic.
Oh, yes, I suppose a synthetic form of life would make sense. Yeah, that's a proper term for it, isn't it? Synthetic. I will keep that in mind, thank you. If that is the proper term I should be using, I will start using it.
You are welcome.
It's quite an interesting word, synthetic. I'll have to write that down.
There are
I
a
didn't
great
even
many.
spell it, actually. I don't... my bag, once again. I don't have my notepad. Well, I'll have to find a napkin somewhere. No
I have
worries.
not.
But I will make sure to keep it in mind.
I believe it starts with an yes. And sorry, my creator has not
For some reason,
given me the what do you call it? A dictionary?
and then once it is comprehended,
A dictionary, yes, yes. A thesaurus, dictionary, encyclopedia. These are many things that would require,
fully understand.
for what I've heard, many men of iron use to process such things, or synthetics.
Yes,
Apologies.
I have.
Then it's no
There has been a great many things that I have not been exposed to.
People use magic are actually just using science.
I see, I see. That makes sense. Rather new then? Rather fresh off the creation floor, so to speak?
Yes, this is only my second time in this place and any place.
Oh, well, same here. So we are fresh birds of a feather, I suppose. Kicked from the nest into this brand new magical world.
Sciences that are very little understood.
I have seen some things that are magical. Many things I did not expect.
It's confusing, but it can happen.
Well, that is understandable. Magic is a wondrous force, and apparently throughout the multiverse, if I'm to understand it correctly, a lot of people seem to have different forms, different variations, all sorts of things. For mine, it was fairly simple components into power, into projection of magic or such things. So,
I have been
I'm
told
curious.
of things, but my creator said that I would be learning eventually. But that
I
is
guess, well,
much
learning is
further down
always
the
a good
road.
experience.
It is.
Never hurts to learn more.
That is the purpose of me coming here to learn things. I have not conversed with many people other than my creator, and this is a learning experience.
I see, a form of social training of the like or some sort.
Stop bringing things here.
Yes, I have heard that word before.
And then when there's a fight going on, they
I see, I see. Well, it is good to meet you. I am Marcus the Pont. I am traveling warrior scholar from Galoria.
Good to meet you. I am M4.
Yes, M4, that's right. I do recall the name. I try to keep them cataloged best I can, but if I don't remember the name next time I see you, I do apologize. So many things to keep track of and such things.
There have been many people that have found it difficult to remember.
I guess that's a good thing. Making sure
Yes, I will try to recall it best I can, though. M4, what is a good way to remember that? Perhaps...
like it's happened more.
I was
Maybe I
told
can
that
recall it through a me...
I was told that there was a weapon, a rifle, maybe, that shares
Oh,
a
there's a
similar name.
rifle named after it. I do know of rifling, so M4 rifling, so perhaps a measured fourth time rifle. I can remember that.
No
rather simple.
relation to who I actually am, but I have heard such a thing.
No, I understand, but it is a means to remember you, so not to associate you with a weapon of some sort. Unless you are a weapon, I cannot quite tell. But it is a good way to remember such things, such as your name, to associate them with such things, like a string wrapped around the finger, but mentally, if you understand.
I do not know exactly what you mean, but it sounds reasonable.
So the string around the finger idiom is to wrap a red string around your finger, right? So that way, whenever you see your hand, you see the red string, but you don't recall why you wrapped the red string, but once you see it, you recall the thing you are attempting to remember.
Sounds
If you associate the string with a memory, it instantly becomes easier to remember said thing.
sounds like it could be helpful.
Yes, it's a simple process for, memory recall, I suppose, is the terminology for it. So it's rather simple. Some people don't like to do it, but if you have a hard time remembering things or keeping track of events you have to do or such things, every time you look at your hand, or because everyone uses their hands and everything, I suppose, unless they're a special case around here, you'll recall it, because you will always be able to see your hand.
Ah, I may borrow this technique.
I mean, is the hair also plated, or is it?
It
I
is
can't quite
not.
tell. It looks.
It is not organic matter.
Oh, no, I see it. There it is. Yes, I see the plating now. Okay, I just wanted to double check. Not to sound rude, but it would be a little odd for me to see organic hair, I suppose, in a man of iron, or synthetic. Apologies.
And
such things.
Curiosity is not to be ashamed of. That is how we
Well, that
learn.
is glad to hear. You would be surprised how many people would be adverse to such things, though, prying into one's business and background and one's such things. I remember one time I turned the wrong alley, asked a man for directions, and he pointed a dagger at me, going, "I don't need to tell you nothing," or such things. It was a rather harrowing experience. Luckily, there was a quick group of other individuals on the street down the way who were willing to help me, and thank goodness for them.
Well, many do like to help. There are even more that do not.
Yes, that is unfortunately the truth in all things, it seems. Some who will help, but many who won't. And unfortunately, it is a sad thing to think about or gaze upon, I suppose. But it cannot be helped. Everyone is out for themselves and such things, but to be willing to put a line out there for your fellow sentient is a task worthy of praise.
I've heard as such. My creator speaks of many things like that. I hope to one day learn such.
Well, it is
thing.
something that is acquired over a lifetime. Everyone's still learning, everyone is still trying to absorb the many things around them. It is a constant, tiring battle of life.
Many things to look forward to.
Indeed, and for a synthetic, it is a long lifespan to be had, I suppose, as long as maintenance can be maintained. I suppose that's a redundant statement. Oh well, I don't have my notes, I'm not going to be elegant about it so much. It is a night to be free and relaxed.
Yes. I only just arrived. Have there been things happening, or has it been chill, as I say?
I arrived not too long after before yourself, and so far it has been rather, what was it, chill, you said? It's been rather chill, frigid, cool. Am I getting the colloquials right? I'm not too sure.
I believe it refers to not jumping out of the pan as when things are hot. It is, things are static.
A sort of opposite of hot and such. I suppose simple thermal analogies. It makes sense, is what I'm trying to say. I apologize. I mumble a lot when I'm thinking about such things.
I am myself just learning these things.
Yes. And it's quite an interesting venue. The buildings are rather high in this area. But they're higher than any I've seen.
It was raining. There was precipitation last time I was here, and it seems to persist.
Yes, it's a land of much rain for how high the buildings are. You would think they would try to make a covering of some sort, although I suppose that's what the glass ceiling is for. So, how structurally sound that is, I cannot say.
I believe the buildings are the cause. Any currents within the weather gets caught within the buildings, and that is commonly precipitation that is dropped, or it stops.
I see. That does make sense, I suppose. And with the lighting output in this area, it is probably heavy industrialized, and probably a lot of extra, what do they call it, smoke? Smog? Something I've heard the industrialist in the capital call it. So I suppose that can also attribute to heavy rainstorms and such things. But I've heard odd tales of acidic rain, if you can believe it.
I have heard of this. I have not experienced yet.
Let's hope not. Apparently it does as bad to flesh as it does to synthetic beings like yourself.
Drake.
I was told that an eventual upgrade would be things to protect me from such corrosion, yet I do not believe it has been implemented.
Some sort of coating, or perhaps they'll equip you with clothing. Who knows? Anything's possible, I suppose.
With my creator, who knows what is next.
Still don't speak ASL, and I do not
And I don't mean to,
your name.
what is it, knock your creator, I suppose is the terminology for it, the colloquialism. But I know some men who make such things get a little passionate with it and use them as dress-up dolls and such things. Not to say you yourself are one, but I know there are men out there who would do such a thing for their creations and whatnot. But suppose not all of them are so... what is the word I'm searching for here? Depraved. Some of them just treat it like a daughter or such things. So
I do not
Surrogate
believe
father.
you would do such things if I know what you are implying. But I will look out.
no, of course I assume I don't mean to imply anything. I'm just saying as a warning, or perhaps a twisted way of saying perhaps he will give you clothing rather than any sort of external upgrades or such things.
I don't think mine's that.
I suppose I got down that path very dark instead of light. But my point is, perhaps he will dress you rather than give you a external plating or such thing.
I do not know his future plans, but I will question them.
Among scavengers.
I suppose that should be a thing to look into, yes.
Scavengers.
Not to say, you know, not trust his intentions, but a good wall of mutual understanding is always required in such things. Especially someone as fresh as yourself, straight out of the creation floor, I suppose.
That is true.
It is not just a question of things of the environment around you, but also other people's intentions and such things. I know such things happen from the day to day. Young women, young men getting kidnapped because they went down the wrong corridor with a man, or you know, men and women getting wrapped up in whole scenarios and awful things just because they answered yes to something. So, it is a humble traveler's warning to you, I suppose.
That is good to know. There are a great many things I have not learned yet. I will add that.
They say that failure is the best way to learn, but at the same time, some failures are deadly or worse, so it is best to learn safely rather than once, I suppose.
A simulation is better than going through the experience in some cases.
Exactly. Quite a few different travelers in this one today. And the whole regal mentality of this building's architecture is quite something to behold.
Yes,
Plants I haven't seen before, these trees.
I've spent quite a bit of time just looking around and admiring the architecture. It is very different from the surroundings I am used to.
A lot of them are actually very similar to my homeland. Large stone pillars and stairwells and such things. My capital, Gloria, the land I'm from, is quite, shall we say, regal. Stone pillars, ivory and gold embedded into the royal palace and such things. But, so it is not foreign, but it is different.
I would not mind seeing such a
Especially the
place.
carpeting. The carpeting is always new. Such elegant designs over such large swathes of land and such things.
Such decoration for something that would just be walked on.
Exactly. Which is why it's curious how well maintained it is for how often it seems they get business in here. But such
I've
musings
seen
are
great
left
many people
to,
come out of the rain as well. Would that not
Yes.
be an issue?
Yes, it would muddy the entrance and such things, especially with boots. I know I came in with leather-cladded boots, and I know these keep dirt and things out, but it also means it keeps them on themselves, so I would track mud through the door very easily.
It may have been something with the energy field in front of the doorway.
I suppose that would make sense. Some sort of magical cleaning barrier or something. Who knows? There could be a magic cassette on this whole area and it's just maintained by itself. I know such wizard towers have such enchantments and such things where they keep magical brooms and dust, anti-dust fields and such things. But who is to know?
My creator has something called a Roomba. It is a little automaton that goes about and cleans.
Oh, I was about to say, did he keep a goblin in a box and force it to clean or something?
I'm not aware that it
imagine it
houses an
now.
organic. I believe it is completely
synthetic.
synthetic. Correct.
Interesting. Is it perhaps like a small... What is the shape of such a thing? Is it like a small box, or...
It's a very
Circular.
squat cylinder.
A squashed cylinder, so rounded
Round.
and thin.
Yes.
Where does it keep all the cleaning equipment? Does it spring out magically?
I am not aware. It does disappear into its own house quite often. Maybe it collects things and deposits them.
I suppose that would make sense, but the brushing would be... It would not be a very efficient cleaner unless it is only on the floor.
Okay, well here's the thing. We have a broken ass.
Honestly, I have not looked into it.
The conversion
It merely does its job.
nil. There is no set conversion.
I suppose that's all can be asked of it, yes?
So there's
Some of us, that is
economy's fun.
our lot in life,
Darn,
as they say.
darn these old eyes. Apologies, sorry, you were saying something? My eyes were getting to me.
Well, I was just saying that some of us must do the work that we have.
Okay, it's mainly just like a
Exactly.
to be honest. Which, I mean,
One must do their due diligence and such things.
we have like so many people from so many universes coming
So,
in. Their own currency.
besides being in a synthetic,
They end up homeless if we
a
have conversion.
passion project of your creator, and a, I suppose, female-based synthetic, what else do you do? Is there anything else to know about you, or are you fairly just fresh and without
I have
cause
not
and
explored much
definition?
Market district.
of what I
see.
can do outside of that.
Market district. 'Cause I've
I
actually-
see. Well, I'm just trying to ascertain your function, unless your function is to learn in itself, which I suppose is a valiant function in such things.
I have not
But,
been informed of other functions.
Yeah, I see. It's just the work lights, I suppose you called them, would mean that you are meant to do some sort of task, but at the same time, I don't know what sort of task that would require an emergency flash of such things, perhaps heavy labor or construction or such things.
I think they have a cycling. I think they have a
Observing that I say such things quite a bit, I apologize. Again, I rant, I mumble, and other means of communication. It is a way of defending oneself from, I suppose, getting stuck on one's own words.
It does not rust over time.
It is entertaining to listen to, nonetheless.
Fucking technology is advanced. We don't question.
One more time?
Thank you. It is good to listen to,
However, in my
and I may learn.
I see.
so I don't really care.
I understand now. Well, don't try to pick up my colloquialisms. Apparently I am outdated in this environment, so perhaps listening to many could help you in this
I am taking
good learning experience.
Runs different.
I am taking a sample for many.
I could prepare something in the water district.
Oh, I see. I suppose with the synthetic mind, one can process many things in their environment, not just one conversation. While myself, I'm having trouble with such one. But what can be done?
That sounds pretty inefficient. Way of going.
That is a limitation that many live with.
Look, man, this is years layers of shit building up.
Yes, and
Of course, it's gonna
some
be fucking
pose
difficult
fear over that,
time.
but I am not too worried for it myself. A
As long as you're never at the bottom.
mind is a mind after all, and one must always be learning.
That is admirable.
Okay, well here's the thing, the big picture.
Yes. Now, tell me, do you have any combat prowess? Anything you can do that comes to the battling, the martial arts, or some such things?
I have been informed by my creator not to speak of such things.
Small picture, 'cause a small picture here.
Ah, I see, I understand. I apologize. I was just merely trying to ascertain your abilities in a sense of making sure to properly defend yourself, because, like I stated, many people may have good intentions, others not so much, so even just knowing a basic self-defense is always welcomed in such times, or I suppose worlds. So it is a good thing to know how to defend oneself.
You need not concern yourself. I may have defensive abilities.
We have extra planes of existence.
I see, and I suppose that is a valid thing for you to keep secret, and one must always keep their cards close to their chest, and I suppose with your synthetic nature it'll be hard to steal you away in general, huh? Oh my goodness, I apologize, I did not mean... I'm going to be quiet for a moment now.
That's more common than you speak. It's more common than you think. I'm pretty sure.
I've been informed that synthetics have a vulnerability to electronic interference. I hope
Oh,
to
I
defend
see,
myself
so-
from that.
I see. A electrical signal of sorts? I've heard of such things, but I'm not too sure of the science and such behind it myself.
I have heard of something called a magnetic pulse.
Magnetic pulse. So magnets I understand, but pulsing, I mean, I understand the terminology behind a pulse, but what that actually means together is a rather odd combination. So magnetational field put into a pulsing I suppose
Try.
I would have no idea how to create such a thing, so no need to worry from me.
I have only been told to watch out for it. I do not know how it functions.
I see.
I am very limited in what knowledge I have access to.
I see. Well, it is a peaceful area as far as I've been told in here, so no need to worry about such things. They wouldn't let unruly people in through the door, or even have access to the portal, I suppose.
I am told that this wristband that we received dampens many abilities.
Oh, I see. So, well, I suppose it has no major effect on me. It's just a wristband, but they did take my weapon, so even then.
There are many things I do not have access to when wearing this.
I see.
But I believe if other people are under the same limitations, I should accept.
Exactly. It is I suppose, a social contract of some sort, and a physical one when you walk in the door.
That is true.
It means to be peaceful on the premises, and if not, well, there's security, I'm sure, that is armed in this building somewhere. Not to be worried about such things. Quite a few different faces around here. Such odd creatures and sorts, and or synthetics. I'm trying to keep that word in mind. Synthetics. People who glow, people who don't glow, people who are simple, and those who are fantastical in nature. So, but there's always a learning experience when coming in here, I suppose.
There were a great many more synthetics here the other evening.
Oh, I see.
I don't find them as numerous. Right.
I should not be pointing at people as rather rude, I suppose. I'm just so curious.
Oh yeah.
Trying to discern who is what and what is where and such things.
I found that pointing is a good way to summon a person.
I see. pointing, but that's, I have no idea. Perhaps things are different in many worlds. And as far as I'm aware, pointing at someone is a rather rude thing to do, unless you're doing the waggle forward motion, I suppose.
I know one Xavier.
Hmm.
Yes, it is a motion that implies come forward or such things.
I had a companion that would point and rather loudly shout, get people's attention.
Oh, like a guard of some sort. You stop right there, or such things.
I've heard such things, yes. I have not had any entanglements with these guards yet. I'm on the watch.
Well, hopefully you won't. That is always a good thing, to keep in the guard's good graces anywhere you go. It is a recommendation from a fellow explorer and world traveler, I suppose. Keep in good graces with everyone in authority if you can. But if you clash with them, do be prepared for consequences and such things. Consequences are a facet of all life and such what? Such what? Such what? Such what? Such what thing? Anyway.
I've heard there are a great many guards around here that should not have authority.
Interesting.
They
Suppose that
do
is
not
true in
all
all
belong.
cases.
They do not all belong to the official governing body.
I see. So a sort of, what is the terminology I'm trying to think of? A sort of authoritarian, if I recall. Regardless, some gods, some gods don't deserve their posts, but that is not neither here nor there, and I'm not one to be a expert on the subject. I will trust the staff with their choices.
Yes, I was told by my creator and many others that I should not worry about that here, but if I were to go outside into the city, that may be an issue.
Yes, I've heard such things, that once you are outside of the safety of this Purple Lotus band, it becomes quite, unbrashed. Such things of mighty warrior gangs or mercenary bands, I've heard, and many other such things, and more modern firearms and whatnot. But I do not know.
So, what did you do on your world? Galoran, you were saying?
Oh, Galorian. Yeah, I'm a Galorian by culture. Yes, it is a region of Western Galoria. It is what the great god king once called it. He's slain, of course, now, but essentially, he assumed himself a god and rose men. It's a very complicated process. All I will say is that if you have what I've heard people call classic medieval, but we are on the edge of that into what I've also heard modern terminology be. A sort of in between. I've heard people talk about such things. So Galoria is a great major capital in our Galorian continent. It is associated far north, but also west, so northwest of the Badlands, which is a former name that is still associated with the region, that housed all the old green-skinned tribes and lizard folk and other such things. Anything you can imagine in what people call a fantasy world, I suppose. That is the association I've heard of it. I do not know myself.
Sounds interesting. Sounds like there would be things to learn, and it is very different than our current surroundings.
Yes, it is quite indeed, but some things stay the same. There are great mercenaries and warrior bands to be found, simple people who keep simply to themselves. We do have a form of synthetic. They're called men of iron, but that is why I got the terminology from. But they are constructs made by a great, what was his name? I should know it. Oh, Stephen Wales. Stephen Wales, a great hero of the war who apparently is still around after 100 years or so. Some say he's a lich, but I'm not too certain myself. I've heard he never fell to such necromantic powers, but... So he is the world economic power in my world, I suppose. He's a manufacturer of great men of iron and has crashed the world economy a few times, I've heard. But I was not around to see such things.
There is very little iron involved in my construction.
Yes, it seems so. It's a shinier metal type I have not seen before. It's the bearings in between, though. I've seen similar metals, but not of the shiny white bits here.
I do not believe this is metal. It is a
It's not a metal,
composite
though.
material.
I would not know. I have only seen raw steel machinery at most.
Again, that is not something that I've been informed of.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
I don't believe I've seen either of you two here before. Are you both new?
Yes, I'm fairly new myself. It is my second time attending one of these Purple Lotus gatherings. It was a right hell trying to find the portal this time. I went through every inn, and then the one gamble house I went through, it was the right portal, so I suppose they changed up the locale. I have to make sure next time. Marcus DuPont, I talk too much.
Oh, sorry. Trinity. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
You are?
M4. Thank you. I'm here to learn.
Learn. Are you new
And-
here as well?
Yes, I've only been here twice. Or this is the second time.
Same as I.
The same as you.
We are both on learning experiences, which is why we met and bonded so well already.
Ah, I see. I get it. Hopefully it's
And
not
I am
too
a
bit, it's
warrior
not been
scholar
too
for my
jarring.
region.
I
No,
hope
no,
it's not
it's
been
always
too jarring for either of you. It can be jarring for some people.
It is rather unique, to say the least. New synthetics and such things I've heard them called, and magical beings. I have no such capacity to know their origins, but I try to keep my
try and keep to calling them synthetics.
Yes, and
The
that
other
is a
words are
terminology I
typically
learned
slang.
from M4. And from
Yes.
mine, we call them men of iron because they're still made of conventional materials and metals.
That's fair. Yes.
And says quite a lot of different colors in your hair. It's quite interesting. Is it natural or?
It's dyed. I'm willing to take up. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
take up
see.
the dye at some point, but I've just left.
I see. Okay. And then is the green also dye or?
No, that is a natural thing. Not
Oh,
really.
I see.
Kind of natural,
Well,
pseudo-natural.
I don't mean to pry, of course. I'm just.
Oh,
You
it's
have to excuse me. I'm rather curious.
That's fair. Yes. Would you like the answer to that, considering you're rather curious about this?
Oh yes, of course, if you'd be willing.
I would like the answer as well.
Then I'll give you. So technically, I am technically what is considered a abhuman. Some people would say.
abhuman.
Yes, some other people would say just a mutant. I have a mutated strand of genetics that makes it so when I become irradiated in any sort of way, my body will retain it and use it to boost my overall, well, healing capacity, I suppose. The body's natural regeneration is boosted, as well as a
I
higher
see.
metabolism.
So
I am
just
perfectly safe, I assure you. I would not be here. I always have to say that. I would not be here. The only time any Geiger counter will go off is if the blood splashes out.
well,
I don't think that would affect
you'll have to
me anyways.
excuse me.
You
You'll have to
wouldn't,
excuse me.
but
I'm
it's
not
more
quite
for-
familiar with the terminology you're using, but I will take into account your means that you are safe. I don't
Yes,
know.
it can
you
be a-
apologize.
it is considered
Apparently, my
a
world is behind the
biohazard.
times.
It's fine. It is considered a biohazard in time. So,
I see.
yes, organics will be affected greatly by it.
Okay. Very well. Oh, look at that one go. Is that a Roomba? Is that what you were talking about?
It does not appear similar.
I believe
It's
that
a
is one of
squashed
those.
cylinder? No, it
that's
might. Oh,
either
very well.
Poe, K,
That
or
one's a little
K.
taller and less.
There's a.
I see. Oh, okay.
It's probably a part of the
Apologies.
trio.
I don't
there's
mean
like
to-
3 of those little guys. One's named Poe, other one's K, and I think the other one's Toe.
Po, K, and
K
Oh,
and
I
yeah.
understand now. It's
yes, there's
potato.
3 of 'em.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a
Yes, I
reference
understand
to a
that one.
vegetable?
Yes, to the tube. Or the tuber? I forget what category of. Yes, the tuber.
They are
yes.
a root, but
Roots.
other
there
people
you
say
go.
tuber.
Well, there you go. It is a colloquialism and such things.
I
Point being, it's a
believe it is
potato. We
rich
all,
in
I hope
starch.
we all understand it. Hmm. Yes. I suppose I am behind the times and such things in my world. I suppose we are just
You guys have
getting
some of them.
getting into firearms and such things. So I hear that's a
You're
modern,
still more advanced. You're still
more advanced thing. Yeah.
considerably more advanced. Does your world perchance have magic?
Yes.
Or no?
It is slowly
Oh,
getting
wow,
outdated,
that
though.
is-
Apparently.
Oh yes, that's a common trait for worlds with
Well-
magic, is that they often lack in the more technological side, as you don't really have to develop technology when you have something like magic.
Exactly. But
Granted,
ironically enough,
granted, magic rules will differ from universe to universe, but
yes.
it generally is the same trend, is what I've noticed.
So I've heard, but ironically enough, it's not the technology actually making it obsolete. It is some form of new science called psionics.
Oh.
Hey, TS, you're still around?
Wait,
Yeah.
it's psionics.
I was
Psionics
at
is the mental
Chunky's
power, correct?
stream
It
when
is a
she got
mental
raided.
power spear that I am not too
Good
well
luck.
versed in myself, but apparently a new scientist in my world, Dr. Beliphus Crow or such things, discovered the means to this new power. It is not magical in nature, he confirmed, before he was whisked away in unknown, who knows where, honestly. He just disappeared the night he discovered it, apparently. But it is a driving force in many of the military in my world, so magic is, while still ferocious, is slowly being outdated by those who can instantly use such things and throw things with their mind and cast communications farther away than most magical conventions.
Surprisingly, we don't actually. That is weird. And as far as I know, we don't actually have many. Well, excuse the terminology, but I guess the best term, psyker, is like I have to call it that. But
Ooh, so that I've
just
heard
people
that
who-
term before. That is a good
people
term for
who-
it, yes.
people who have psionics. There's not many people who actually use psionic capabilities around here.
Yes,
That's
I've
actually
heard
surprising.
it's a rather rare ability in quite a few of the multiverse. But I must be honest, it is also rather rare in my world as well, because it is a rare, I suppose, genome, if I'm using the terminology correct. I've heard them say such things.
You would be using it correct, yes.
I hear it is something more you're born with than commonly come through training.
Yes, it is a very rare trait in a lot of the warriors in the military, from what I hear. It's a new technology as well, so it's still being experimented with and whatnot. But I am nowhere near my home region. I am currently away in, I believe it's the Northern Lands I'm currently in. I've almost forgot being here, because the last week I was just leaving the eastern regions of my world and stumbled upon the inn or onsen, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
So it matched up. It matched up rather well.
The newest of the, well, recent companies to be added to the Lotus repertoire, I suppose.
I see.
It's the most recent, yeah. And one of the most
Say it
popular,
is.
next to this.
So I'm just trying. I'm sorry. I get more curious the more I look at you. It's just. Is that a synthetic arm?
It is bit
Oh.
obsolete, very obsolete. It's pretty obsolete. It's my arm from my own world. I would never bother replacing it because it still works, and I know the ins and out of it entirely. So,
I see.
no real reason for me to replace it, considering it's more convenient for me to just have this. Yeah. So.
I suppose money is also an issue as well.
Not actually. No, I
Oh,
work for
well, it's-
my day 3 of me being here, I got hired by a mega corporation as an
Oh,
engineer,
a
and I was given an apartment.
corporation.
Yes, they run an entire district of the city, namely the water district. So.
Oh, and they let a
I work for them.
conventional company do that.
Well, it's a mega
see.
corporation, so not necessarily conventional. They have pretty much political power, they have economic power, they have technological power, they have social power, they have all kinds of power, hence why mega corporation is the best term.
I see. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. That sounds rather silly for them to get that much power.
It can be dumb at times, yes. It can be very dumb.
What can I say, though? There was a magical god king or such thing in my world, so I suppose same potato.
Most people don't mind, considering where we are at now, technologically speaking. It is honestly just probably for the best that it just happens this way.
Yes, well, I suppose about the whole usurper of power pushing things forward, you wouldn't get that little bump every now and then, I suppose. In technology and living status.
It depends at this point, because there's so many different people coming in from different universes with different different ideas of technology and magic and uses for it. It is rapid advancement happens. It is stagnant in development. Like, we are working on it, but it still stagnates from there. It doesn't really advance too much, and then it gets that big advancement. I thought we took that out of your helmet. The hell?
It's an odd beep.
It's a sensor. It stops whenever he cusses.
I see.
Yes, I saw signs prohibiting that.
What, the sensor?
I suppose.
Yes, I believe it's on the side of that pillar there.
Wait.
I don't know how serious it is, though.
Yeah, that's for the, specifically that's for the, if you look over here, I'll show you. There's a way of typing for those who do not like to speak, hence why they say no profanity.
For those of the mute variety, I see.
Yes.
This is where I
No
met the...
profanity on those.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, we are allowed to curse, just not with that.
I see. And I suppose that's a
You do
more
not
permanent.
actually put it on there.
Yes.
Don't enter,
I got
just
confused by
delete
that
it.
too. I asked the staff and then they laughed at me. So
Yeah, I
don't make
know.
the same mistake I did.
I see.
I guess
Same
I have
word
been
over
saved.
and over on that screen.
Yeah, I know. I don't like this. I'm visibly fluxing from this. I'm going to stay away from it.
Yes, I too will ignore it.
I'm getting snapped here and there. I don't like it. So I will
Yeah.
look away from it.
I feel like I'm about to have a cursed foot on me or some such thing.
Flux. Don't worry about that. Hate it. But what are you gonna do?
Ignore it and walk away.
You could try. It's a bitch. It's a
I
real
suppose.
bitch.
I suppose it is. So, apologies, I've probably been speaking too much and such things.
Oh no, it's honestly a lot better considering a decent bit of the people here are not the most conversationalists, or at least we'll run out of a topic. If there's no good topic, there is no conversation. If it
I
isn't-
see. And I suppose dead air is worse than awkward air, as they say.
Yes, it is. It sucks, so.
Better it to shamble in pieces than for it to not walk at all.
Hurry!
Evening.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Good evening, Abigail.
Rather large.
Oh, yes. This is Drake.
Hi, Drake.
Hello, Drake. And your name?
Abigail.
Abigail. Good to meet you. I'm Marcus DuPont, traveling warrior scholar from Gloria. Oh, all right, very well. It's fine. I understand some cultures don't like the handshake and such things.
I hear it means the opposite in some. I had not encountered any
Some
of these.
require a handshake. Some require a handshake, some appease it, some do a weird shoulder bump thing or some sort. So, if you don't mind me asking, may I inquire your origins, or your worlds, I suppose? I've got origins of these two, and now I'm just curious as well for the rest of you.
Oh, I'm from Absalom.
And Absalon is a region I should be aware of, I suppose?
Galarian
I apologize, I'm rather
Absalom.
new.
Oh, I don't.
Do you remember Pathfinder?
No, that is not
Yes,
a
it's
region
my
in this
second.
universe.
I see.
So-
Okay, understandable.
I haven't met anyone else from there yet. So.
I see. Is it a desert region or a place of much faith? I've seen clothes similar to regions of the sword.
Oh, well, not entirely. It's a big city. The place I'm from originally is a desert place. Yes.
I see. Okay. Well, that would explain the hoods and the flowing garments and colorful pieces of fabric and such things. And I couldn't notice, but the hilt of your sword there is unique to the regions as well.
Yes, it's just a sheath. You know, you have to leave your weapons.
Yes.
Of course, of course. But still, the point being. And I suppose Drake is a rather large synthetic.
From
Rather
what I
well
got
played
from
him.
what Ares was saying, he is a Geth.
Oh, I see.
I
We're
hope
gonna.
I got that right.
I'm gonna use
Yeah,
the
it-
teleprompter. I think if I recall it.
Spamming, I guess.
Oh my.
A Geth. I see. Understood. Rather. Is it a normal to be of your stature and your kind, or is it a special case?
Sensor. Thought we did that. It didn't?
Bathili's motherfucking magic. It's off now. I can say it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no, I was bleeding up a storm upstairs.
Yeah, I know, I heard.
Must be hard to type on that with such large fingers.
You guys got a kick out of that.
Oh yes, I was getting a nice kick out of that. Just hearing the constant bleeps.
I'll be heading out to you.
See you, Ares. Last project.
Class Prime. Oh, your classification is Prime. Understood. I see. And I understand that now. Yes, I know. Okay, so you are a Prime model, if I am understanding the terminology correctly. I see. Well, you are a rather prime specimen, if I must say. Hmm. Rather odd. Proxy. Oh, it's rather odd anyway. Well, I suppose it is time for that free drink, and we'll go get that. I will be back in a bit.
Don't think I got your name.
M4. Good to meet you.
M4. Good to meet you.
God.
I have heard that God something is the classification of a chassis.
Species. Oh, you're a god species.
Oh.
first god we have walking in, or god species walking in, I suppose.
Really?
I've heard they're quite common.
Yes, we have Nikolai, is a god of darkness, madness, and chaos. Yeah. Now he runs a cafe in class. Quite weird. I think he runs a cafe. Don't know about that 100%. But he's shapeshifter.
Yes, they had coffee here. I was quite surprised.
Yeah.
Yes, I quite like their tea.
Yes, I saw that on the menu as well. I was quite surprised. Usually a partaker of tea, but coffee is such a foreign drink in my land. It's good to see it and try it every once in a while.
Interesting.
Rather than,
where are
I
you
suppose,
from?
rare or expensive. I am from a land called Gloria. It is the northern continent in my world. It is a large, I suppose, regal society. A lot of white marbles and gold pillars and such things. I am not from the main part of the capital, but it's a rather large city.
Dimension Tear.
Slowly getting more modernized by the day. We now have mechanical carriages and such things that are transporting goods slowly here and there, but I am not one to know of such mechanical intricacies.
Oh, it's very interesting.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Goodness, hold on. It is gone from my grasp.
Oh.
I have found once things are out of hand, they tend to stay out of hand.
Thank you so much. Apologies. Yep, and there it goes again. Goodness. I'm good to... There we go.
Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh dear.
There. Point being, I am a clumsy fool.
Oh. Sorry.
Yes, you nearly spilled your tea. Or coffee. Multiple times.
I did. Well, either way, I suppose I am done with it, so I will go dispose of it. Is there a trash receptacle nearby, or do I just...
Follow me?
I believe there is one over there.
Thank you.
I didn't know that.
Well, hopefully M4 they get one of those Roombas to get rid of the droplets I may have spilled in my shenanigans.
That may be useful.
Yes. But yes, Gloria is a rather, I suppose, behind the times world. We are still in the, what I've heard called medieval to low technology spectrum, from what I've heard of other travelers, so we are slowly getting our way there. Rifles and mechanical carriages and such things, but still magic and other such things. So
What kind of ammunition for your rifles, if I may ask?
it is I believe they are cartridges.
Oh.
Yes. It was thanks to a innovative pair, one of them being I've told you before, M4. Stephen Wales was his name, a innovative businessman who owns an entire country, if you can believe it,
Well,
full of synthetics and,
you're pretty
as we call them,
advanced, I suppose.
men of iron. I
Yes,
suppose, but it feels like
You're
we
behind
jumped
the
ahead a little
times.
too quick.
uh,
Yes. Well,
I mean, to be
jumped ahead.
you'd be surprised. We have clockwork units walking around still, and there's some of the most powerful synthetics you can find around at times. So,
I
they're
believe I
really
saw them
clockwork.
fight last time I was here.
So, clockwork is more common and is not considered a weak form of technology anymore.
No, well, that is good to hear, I suppose.
I believe it has been said that if it's not broken, don't fix it.
It's
Yes.
moreover for the fact that, for some reason, clockwork, I believe, has an easier time incorporating magical elements into it. Mainly
Yes,
magic.
from what I've heard,
So
it
it's a
is.
lot easier. Therefore, technically, by our standards, because we mix a lot of our technology with magic, and our frequent experimentations into magitech and just uses of it in general, clockwork devices typically are a bit more advanced at times.
Yes, I have heard. metals are more easily inclined with magics, which is why clockwork pieces and technologies work so well with it, if I'm to assume correctly.
It's more of there's less signals used in clockwork when compared to our technology, which uses wires and electricity and circuitry.
I see.
Basically the same thing. There's a lot of signals that go around, and magic can actually be turned into those kind of signals. So it does have a clash there, and it makes it harder to work with. Clockwork, on the other hand, lacks sort of signals. It is more motion,
It is
frequency
in
in some cases. So
in the term mechanical in nature.
yes, it is less digital,
Yes.
I suppose. It is less energy based. So it works a lot better. There's less of a clash, generally speaking.
I see. Makes quite a bit of sense when you put it that way.
There is
Although I
some
suppose-
devices here in our world. It's very rare to find, but there are devices that convert runic and other magics, just magical aura and just general magic spells, into actual digital information, ones and zeros, binary, and the like. It turns it into code. So you can see if you do not, because magic is for some people you can construct it exactly like how one might construct code for a synthetic. It is pretty much the exact same. If
I
this,
see.
then this. It can be constructed down to that way. Not always.
A form of functions and such things.
Not always, though. It
I
is
see.
highly dependent on the magic variety.
I ran into a synthetic that was powered by what he called mana.
Mana. Would he happen to be blue and little?
He was rather large.
Nope, then not soulless. But yes. Large. Think of the one. What was
It's
his name?
rather
by chance?
interesting.
I do not
From
recall.
what I understand.
It was short. The name was
Do you
short.
know what he looked like?
Tall, blue. I believe he had 3 lights.
Trying to think of who
Nowhere
that could be.
in sight right away, so suppose he's not here right away.
I suppose. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the one. There used to be one, but he turned himself into he got a polymorph, I believe, or a permanent polymorph solution. So now he looks more human, so. And
I
is
see.
more of a, yeah. So, you might not fit a description entirely unless you met him when he was still a full synthetic, not human looking. Like that. Actually, it's him right there, I'm pretty sure.
Like, are you talking of Graham?
Graham? Possibly, I don't know their name. I don't remember their name.
I
Blue Wings.
met Graham the other evening I was here. He is not the one I am referring to.
Okay then. Well, wow, okay, now I can't. No, 3 eyes, that doesn't match any description I know. I mean, this guy's got 3 glowing eyes, but he's not entirely blue.
I noticed
Yeah,
that my description was very similar.
Yeah.
3 eyes, glowing blue pots, rather large.
Happened to be very similar, but
Very similar in description, yes. Well,
not to mention a short name, Drake. Pretty short.
yeah?
I believe it had 2 letters.
Oh, it's even shorter. Wait, 2 letters.
2 letters.
Or a number and a letter and a number. Possibly.
Fuck. Then I don't know.
Interesting. Well,
That's...
if they show up, they show up, I suppose.
The only ones who I can think of else with the description, I don't really see them often, so I haven't had a good glimpse of them too well. But they kind of look like it. I don't know if these mana though. None of it.
It was
That's
2
hard
nights
to say.
ago that I met this person.
Were they wearing a suit?
They were synthetic.
There are synthetics who wear suits.
I see, I was telling you that synthetics do wear clothes.
It's a whole group known as the Office. They pretty much all synthetics.
The only other synthetic I remember meeting was, I believe, 2 weeks past when it was Mr. Whoever, he said his company was something robotics, and he had no legs. He was rather shiny and very slim, had a suit on the top half, and I believe he called it a hover disc or some such thing. But that is not who we were speaking of.
Okay, that one I've seen models like it, so I've seen at least 3 models like that. So
I see.
I don't assume it's mine.
Maybe a
there's a lot of
mass-produced
them. There's a
one,
lot
or
of
the head of the
synthetic going around,
mass-produced
so
line.
It's, I don't know, it's just a pain to try and figure out.
The other evening there were even more in this casino. Almost no matter which way you looked, you saw a synthetic or two.
Well, I believe the original topic was, yes, well, that's my homeland. But I'm currently traveling away from it, though.
Segway.
Segue. Yes. I suppose that veered far off the trail, or such colloquials as that.
It did a bit. But, hey. Conversation's conversation.
Conversation is indeed conversation. Let's see, next topic of discussion. So I've learned about you, got a bit out of you, got a bit out of you. I've gotten everyone's origins, so now it is just nuances, I suppose.
Wait, did you get mine?
Yeah, we got most of it out of the way in the initial meeting, I suppose, unless there's more to it I did not get, or we were interrupted. Mega corporations and...
Oh, I'm not even from this universe.
Oh!
Yes.
Well, then I know nothing, and I apologize.
Oh, I was giving you basic introduction to this world, considering you're new.
Oh, I thought that was the nuances of your world. I apologize.
No, that was in case you didn't know.
Oh,
So
well.
you said you were 2 days. It's only you. This is your second time here,
Yes,
so I figured
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
oh, you're pretty new, so you might as well need to get the need to know.
I do need a crash course, as it were.
Okay, well after my origins, I can give you the basic crash course of what's going on and what to look out for. But
Of course.
hello.
Evening.
Zana. Zara.
No? No? Oh, goodness. Now that is rather embarrassing.
I know it's 4 letters, and I'm going for it. In 4 minutes. I'm gonna kill myself. Jesus.
No, don't. Let her try and guess. The half the fun of it, I suppose.
Oh my god, they just all type proxy. What the hell? God, there's a lot of proxy.
Five?
5.
I suppose we're playing an impromptu game of charades now.
What the fuck? All glory to the holy. What the fuck?
The halfling like
It
creature
was
type
it was a very short one. That came by like that.
Ra.
Yes. Come on. Okay, alright, give her a first letter. Give her a first letter. Is it R or are we
The first one.
R? Oh, RH?
Wait. Rana? No, fuck.
This is very similar to a game that I once heard where it was actually rather unsightly. But we were supposed to guess letters.
The Hangman, I believe. Oh, he had that
yes.
similar game.
Okay.
Yes, that is the one.
Yes, I know it's that.
Yes, I've heard
I
it
get
called,
that it's
I believe in my region we call it
something.
executioner, but I like the terminology hangman a lot more. It sounds a lot more, less grim. Still grim, but not as much.
It means the same.
Brava?
Yes, but executioner implies a darker tone, while hangman just means he could be hanging from something.
I hate myself.
So you
You
can
could look
use
at-
it with children, not as much.
You could look at it that way.
Yes.
Give me a second.
He's just having fun hanging there.
Yes, he's swinging on a rope swing.
No, I'm gonna correct that.
And if you fail, he falls off. I have no idea. Any excuse for the children, I suppose.
My Pip Boy notes.
Yes, I regret not taking as many notes as I should have last I was
I
here.
regret leaving my notes at the collection area.
I normally don't, I'll be honest. Now I actually
have to-
doing this because I'm frustrated.
I'll have to find a napkin or something to write on.
Hence, having a robotic arm which you can store most of your information on is fantastic.
Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah, remove your arm. Try it.
Yes, I'd rather not.
Thank you for following!
Room for improvements.
Super! And stretch! I do need to stand up. Or not stand up here. Stretch a bit.
Oh.
Yep. I was hunching.
Huh? The shiny synthetic man up there. Oh,
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 that looks dangerous.
he's laying on the banister. Yeah, he is laying on the banister. I suppose he can't be injured from that fall, though. I worry about the property more than him.
What?
Or the people that it would fall on.
Mr. Synthetic, sir, up there, please do not hang on the banister, I believe that one is saying.
Is he not? Is he?
He's laying upon it right there.
I can't tell if he is or not. It looks for me. It looks like he's just kind of leaning over the edge. Oh no, he
I
is.
keep
lying.
seeing, I keep seeing his leg pop up over the edge, like he's going to hop down.
Yeah.
Off the banister, you.
Oh. Oh, they
He's
got
off.
Trinity.
He's off! Fantastic, huzzah!
Congratulations.
He can learn!
Good. He can hear us.
He can hear. There you go, that's the more appropriate one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
What?
Oh, hello.
I just heard someone say my name.
Hello.
Well, hello there.
Well, aren't you looking fancy?
Oh, thank you.
So many
my
fantastic
name's
new sights and
Abigail.
sounds. Oh, it was that one.
Ah, Abigail. Well,
That one
nice to
typed the
meet
R.
you. I am
Or the pole. It was the
Zero.
pole. That one typed the pole.
of the Upsit tribe.
Well,
So,
Sid Rose?
Rose, for short.
Why would Ray
more for the wall.
go to the
itself,
pool?
Okay. I more praise the wall.
You must
than
be
him.
wealthy
I guess
by
poor
wearing
works
purple.
Yeah, so... Oh?
Yeah.
You mean my gloves?
What is so special about this pool?
I'll get like rat trap stuff.
Is it a religious symbol of some sort?
Particularly.
Huh?
Is purple expensive? Where do you come
just
from?
curious about what's so special about the pole. Is
See,
it
when
religious?
you're fixing really bad, when the flux has you in its grip, stare at either the wall
to make purple.
or a pole. Specifically, when
I
you
see.
face the pole, face the wall. Like in the direction of the
The
wall.
particular color?
While looking at pole, it will save you a lot.
I see.
The flux lessens its grip a lot. So
I'm
hence the
confused.
term holy pole
Do you
or
want to
holy.
join the discussion?
But also because some guy started a cult of the pole,
Sure, what's this about?
and then it just
I,
happened
oh,
that
that's the
benefits
answer I
staring
wanted
at
to
the
get
pole.
to. It's religious.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Understood.
at the moment.
Ah,
It was a quick cult. It lasted about 10 minutes.
And that's about the average lifespan of them, I suppose.
That is true about
How's the
some.
cult of the panda is internal.
No, that's synthetics glowing purple. Is that the one you were talking about?
No.
Three symbols, similar to a blue?
Similar description, but no.
Sure it's synthetic?
There's...
I don't.
It glows like my friend Drake here, so I only assumed. It seemed a lot of synthetics glow.
Well, purple.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh.
Although I suppose some creatures glow as
I
well.
can't make purple, sorry. I can only do blue colors.
Oh.
Blue spectrums.
Yes, specifically blue spectrum.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Why is there a totem pole?
Huh. Can't quite see it past the pillar there. The pole hides all.
Oh, Mr. Shiny. You spent 558,000 credits on his suit. Oh, never mind. He's coming down. Oh no, he's going back up.
He's
Oh, someone's getting high.
flying.
It's going higher.
I'm lost.
Huh.
I don't see what is being referred to. It seems to be drawing a crowd, though.
I suppose we should go see what it is.
You say you're not wealthy, but being purple. So, what's that about?
Is everyone alright?
Perfectly fine. They got the stack of the floor.
Holy pole. That is their thing. They formed the image of the holy pole.
Oh my god, it's the man who started the whole
You performed
man
the
responsible for
praise
it.
of the pole for becoming the
He
pole.
let his followers just climb without him. Such a
Yes.
dire end.
Oh god, that's great. I just met my other coworker. Yeah. Met my coworker so long ago and I didn't even realize. Oh my god. That's great. Fantastic. More shite.
And that time, when we do it on stage, we should do like
Great.
Gorilla again.
Oh yeah. Ooga.
Oh, so he's a normal patron. I thought someone brought the gorilla in.
No, he's normal. In fact, again, and I believe I stated. I don't think I stated to you, but he's a priest. He's part of the resume or something.
It's real quick. I have to inform him because it was pointed out to me despite someone not realizing that I didn't catch it and someone heard it and I have to say something about it.
Quite elegant.
The clockwork? Where?
Yes, behind you over here, near the crowd.
I think we've met once before.
Just past straight.
I do have to say,
Oh, that.
I enjoyed your performance.
That's good.
Because you are the best that you can
Back to it, I suppose.
Strange.
Off to spread the word of his religion. Or hers, I didn't quite get it done during that, to be honest.
If your praise gives the pole power and will eventually cause the columns to fall.
There they
if we
go.
ever form the pole again, we should do like a one-leg
So the enemies communicate.
Slowly growing in power, I don't know much to be involved.
In the beginning, there was the pole.
Is this cult thing you were talking about?
That's the cult of the holy pole. And the man who started it all with the red tape.
Oh dear.
Already 9 members. They're slowly growing. You know what they say once you hit.
There's way more.
I was gonna say once a cult hits 10, you have an official cult.
There's way more.
Like, you're recognized by government.
Fanning.
And others are in secrecy. That they don't state it on public. Say on public.
Undercover cultists in the governments and the works and such things. Ugh.
It makes all the radiance from the base of
I feel I'm going to be brainwashed if I keep listening to this lyric.
Yes, praise the ball.
Well, I suppose I'll go around and explore. It is I fear if I stay around their group too long, I'll be indoctrinated or such things. So, I will go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cults have an odd charisma to them. Once you listen for one session, you're drawn in, or so I've heard. So, I rather try to avoid them.
Fucking better.
I'm going to go do a lap and work off that energy the coffee gave me. I'd rather still energetic. I will return and talk to you more if I see you around.
I'm sorry.
I believe I shall move about as well.
I apologize.
Yes, he was.
It's Abigail.
Abigail, that's right. Abigail. Like the... Very well. Abigail. I am, of course, Marcus DuPont, Traveling Warrior Scholar. If you require any of my services, though I do not know what I can offer, honestly, besides a person to talk to.
Nice to meet you, Abigail and DuPont.
Of course. Have a good
I
evening.
shall move around as well. Oh,
Well, I'll be back. I'm just going to go to a lap and explore a little bit and see what other bases I can catalog.
Then I shall return to the cult.
Yes.
Oh my.
I'm brainwashed now.
apparently they come involved.
Scotty, you need.
You grabbed it. Now fucking eat it. You have it in your hand. Throw it. Throw it across the room. You can do it. Just throw that. I believe in you. Just throw that. You have it in your hand. Now fucking eat it. Come on. You got this. Throw it away. You have it in his throat. You have it by the throat. Come on, man.
I put my hand on him and said I send you, and he disappeared.
Where did you send him?
I'm not sure, I just thought I sent you.
You better be back at the guild hall, I swear.
Oh no, what are you thinking?
You better be back at the guild hall.
I mean, I didn't. The wristband didn't.
You might be able to I don't know.
Like this.
She's maintaining moisture. She's getting moist.
Wait, let's go and see what is happening. Is she looking at the door?
She's out there maintaining moisture. Or she's a fish. I didn't know Karens were fishes. Well, makes sense. Explains everything about Brenda. The cookie got stuck in my air pipe. The food went in the air pipe. I can stuff it in the air pipe. Or should I stuff it in the air pipe? No, why not?
What are we stuffing in the air?
You probably won't let me die. I'll be fine. Oh shit, they're freezing. They're fine. letting them enjoy their
Praise
time.
the whole. Huh?
That's true.
That's all.
Okay, fine.
For example, you can't mix up with this entire line.
What does that phrase mean exactly? Well, it's like
Yes. Please. Famous ultimately really. In my life,
That's why I wonder how long it takes for to realize that someone isn't.
I put my hand on you and said, I sensed you.
So I have reason to believe that they're under
Hey, I was gonna go short tonight. I'm gonna wrap up now.
Oh, okay.
It's more me just reliving.
Oh, running. There, I am ready to be picked up. Thank you. It was a rather enlightening evening. Okay. So I am going to be wrapping up. Yeah, it was that world. I'm fine here. Woo! I think I need to. Everyone's supposed to be following certain guidelines there. So let's see what my avatar. Medium. So I'm not terrible. They reduce the mesh count. The mesh count is the only thing. Mesh count and I think my material count. Yeah, skin meshes. Yeah, my mesh count, and I can actually reduce my material count too. But the only thing that's orange is mesh count. Let's see who else is on. I didn't say hi, Graham, but I'll do that next time I'm there. There's Bubble. Sachi. Sachi must have been there. I just didn't see him. Said hi to Zelthor. Okay, so he's in Snowden. And let's see where Falkland is. A different world, okay. That would be the same one. Is Saltor still in the world? Yeah, I guess he may have been. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take off my VR. Awesome. So, okay. So, Zogfer, thanks for the follow. That's the only thing that I potentially could miss. I think I already said thank you. I appreciate it. Plan is to do more VR. I've got an actual group that I am joining on the 5th. I'm also going to start a world and some avatar commissions on the 5th as well. Voice changer.
Hey. Don't sound like the female synth anymore. Okay, cool. I can turn off VR stuff. So tonight was fun. Actually roleplayed most of the time I was there in the lobby, which is cool. Let's see if there's anything I missed on Discord. Okay. Question my current character. Oh, more bookkeeping stuff for the RP. Sachi is streaming, so I'm probably going to actually watch that. Let's see if anyone else is online right now. So I need to pull up Twitch. There's me. I'm not going to raid streamers. But maybe Faye. Let's see if anyone else is on. Let's go ahead and raid Faye. Just cause. What's she doing? She's doing art. Julio. Yeah, so I think I might actually be on for a little bit tomorrow. Purple Lotus is doing a different lobby, I believe, on Sundays. And then Monday night I am going to be going to Gluttony's Tavern. Hanging out a little bit. But let's raid Faye. Going to the right thing here. / raid Faye Geeks. thank you everyone that stopped by and hung out. Next time I'll probably be doing some more RPing and stuff. Who knows? I may actually get time to do some more art stuff. I have some avatars that I want to work on. But I am in the middle of exams, so a lot of that is going by the wayside for the time being until it's done. So have fun with Faye as she's doing art. This looks like our one of her characters that she's working on. See y'all. There we go. Bye.